What up, fam? Hit the like, hit the damn subscribe. We're talking Ben Simmons again, but this time for a good reason.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like oh, this game he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Welcome in, everybody. This is Monday Morning Quarterback, only on HUD Radio. Every Monday, we are brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code HUD for 5,000 bonus points at the $50 value. FanUp.app, right on the Apple Store is where you can find them. Listen, I play it every night. I'm playing it every night. Their payouts are instant. They're the best in the business. Go check them out, and you're getting 5,000 bonus points. I started with 5,000 bonus points, right? And I'm still at like 3,000, and that's not re-upping, right? Since the beginning of the NFL season. Think about that. That's a lot of bonus points. Give you a lot of walking around points in your pocket to dabble and win some damn money. Fan up. Go check them out. Download them right on the Apple Store. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, the family out there join us. Welcome in. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We'll circle the NFL like we do every Monday. Winners, losers of week 9. Joel Embiid now out 10 days. Maybe 10 days. Could be shorter. He needs to bring back 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other to be able to play again. So I think after the 3-day window, he then has to come back with 2 negatives in a row within 24 hours, and then he can play. And it doesn't have to wait the 10 days. I believe, because I believe he is vaccinated, but I don't even want to speak about that, but I assume he is. Eagles week 9 reactions. We'll dive into the game a little bit. We'll dive into the fact that, one, we'll dive into after the game. We'll dive into a little bit of today or last night when my coach wants to tell me that there's not many quarterbacks that can do what this guy can do. All right, but I'll be called a hater again because I'm going to sit here and tell you that Devontae Smith ball in the end zone needs to be on the money. And the good ones, stick it in a chest, throw it where only he can get it, not throw it out of freaking balance or wherever he threw it, and you could have been going into halftime with a 14-7 lead. That game becomes big time different. What you do in the red zone defines you as a quarterback. It literally defines you as a quarterback what you can do in the red zone. It does. It just does. That's where the field's shrinking, right? It shrinks up, and he proves again that going left, he can't make a throw. And that wasn't even rolling necessarily left. That was backpedaling to the left. Can't make that throw. So we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about this atrocious defense, maybe the worst I've seen here in my history of watching Eagles football. This is the worst defense I've ever seen and I'm saying this, and I don't know if a defense had more money tied into their front 7 than this defense does. We're going to dissect it all. We got a ton to go over. Our main topic at hand is going to be Ben Simmons Jaylen Brown rumors, and if you know anything about me, you know I flat out love me some Jaylen Brown. Love me Jaylen Brown. One of the smoothest operators there is in basketball right now. But they got drama in Boston too. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, and that ties into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped, and you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code HUD at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. And always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0. They're just coming out with body wash now. Body wash. 2-in-1. They come out with a 2-in-1er today. A 2-in-1er. All right, I'm looking forward to getting mine coming in the mail shortly. But get 20% off and free shipping with the code HUD at manscaped.com. I don't know if you can tell, but the weed whacker before I went away, like I got all of it now. We are fresh. You feel better. You feel better. I mean, loose hairs is no good for anybody. So use our promo code, get free shipping, and enjoy yourself some Manscaped. To our poll question. See, now I'm on a different computer, so everything's in like different spots. It's weird. But our poll question for tonight, the Sixers trading Ben Simmons for Jaylen Brown would make them championship contenders. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live everywhere you get your podcasts. We're there as well. Listen, do us a favor and do yourself a favor. Hit the damn like, hit the subscribe. All right. Come up with 7 in the red zone right now, unlike our quarterback and our offense. You come up with 7 right now, and you hit the damn subscribe, hit the like, comment in. Tell us where you're watching us from or listening to us from. Because everywhere, not only are we live, but all our shows stay up on those platforms. But the podcast side, we're everywhere. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. There isn't a spot we're not at. So go review us, follow us there, subscribe to us there. We're everywhere, baby. To the poll. I absolutely agree. I mean, you have one guy. First off, you're 8-2, and you're 8-2 doing it in ways that nobody expected, right? It's one thing to be without Ben and him not playing and everything that comes in and ties into that, guys, right? But then the other side of it is you're 8-2 with all that, and you're 8-2 with missing guys because of COVID protocols, right? All different reasons. Guys getting banged up and Danny Green, right? So you've been missing key pieces, and all your backups have done here is step up. Step up. I mean, think about the production you're getting from our boy Niang, right? And you're getting from Maxey, and you're getting from Shake when Shake came back. You're getting from Corky. I mean, think about that Drummond. Guys are giving you so much production from your second unit that's been forced into playing unit 1 minutes per se, right? And you're winning games like you are. First off, if Chicago was a good basketball team or we weren't really good, you don't go back. You don't just beat them at home and go there and beat them too, especially shorthanded. All right. And I'll say it again for the people out there. This is why I wanted no parts of Zach LaVine, because he's a loser. And he showed you over the last 2 times we played Chicago, all right, that this guy is not a franchise caliber player. He's a good player, all right, a good player, not a star though, and doesn't put you over the hump like to our poll question, Jaylen Brown does. So the way the Sixers have done things without Ben, and then you're talking about all the other guys who have missed time for other reasons, right? Joel, all these guys, and they're 8-2, which is the best record in the Eastern Conference. Goes to culture, goes to coaching, and goes to guess what? Guess what? Getting rid of a cancer. Okay? Getting rid of a guy who plays 4-on-5 offensive basketball. Okay? You're getting rid of that. So it's almost addition by subtraction right now. Now you add Jaylen Brown in the mix of that. And I know people out there, Tom, you need a point guard back. No, you don't. No, you don't need a point guard back. All right? He can handle the ball enough. You have enough guard play. Listen, I think it's a perfect compliment to a big man, something they've been missing in Boston since Horford's first departure. Okay? And I think he's in a terrible situation because I think his running mate is a selfish prick when it comes to basketball right now. I mean, that's what Jason Tatum looks like to me. Shoots him out of basketball games, hasn't been good enough. Their best player is Jaylen Brown, but I think to the fan base on why this is even a thing is I believe that Tatum is more of a box office attraction for some reason than Jaylen Brown. And I don't know why that is, because I would much rather watch Jaylen Brown play. And if we have any Celtics fans in here, please enlighten me as a basketball junkie on why that is. But I absolutely think it makes us championship contenders. To me, it makes us the best team in the Eastern Conference, and then you take it from there. Like I don't like to say championship contenders, but what I will say is a top four team overall in basketball. I think you're in that conversation.
Well, you know what it does, Tom. And real quick, we have a Woj slight bomb regarding Ben Simmons. Perfectly timed. It was like Woj was waiting for us to come live. I'll get to it in a second. The entire chat just went crazy. It's the perfect compliment to Joel Embiid. It's that player that we talk about that is a big-time player on a championship team. It is a winning player. He's young enough to where you don't have to worry about, oh, this guy's 35 years old like a freaking Kyle Lowry or something. This guy has plenty of years left on his contract. He's not one-dimensional. He's gotten better every single year. So another thing where Ben Simmons takes some freaking notes, because if you look at the improvement that Jaylen Brown has had in his career and you just say, well, if Simmons would have done half of that where we would be, it would be a whole nother conversation. So Jaylen Brown on the Sixers makes a whole lot of sense. Ben Simmons on the Celtics makes a whole lot of sense. But to this Woj thing, comes out a minute ago, okay? And he says, and I quote, per ESPN sources, after initial reluctance, Sixers All-Star Ben Simmons has met with a team recommended specialists to discuss mental health concerns. Among other issues, the organization had recently reinstituted fines for Simmons' failure to agree to those meetings.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything besides he doesn't want to get fined anymore. So, I mean, that's all that tells me. I mean,
it's
this guy,
all a game.
This guy just showed his true colors from July on. All right. I mean, July on, his true colors have came out, and now we're sitting here. Real quick, and then give me your answer to the poll, because I want to answer Kep's question. Who used to do Kep's Corner here on A2D Radio? Our Madden Simulator would love to get you to do that again down the road, Kep. He says, I don't want him trading in the division. Send his ass out west where he won't be watched. And I'll say to that, like, part of me wants him to go to Boston. I want to hate them more than I already do. But I also agree with holding him hostage too. I'm on the same side as Kep in that too. Like, hold him hostage, but then sending them to, kept sending them to the Celtics, right? It just amps that rivalry up. Like, we already hate the Celtics. Ben Simmons goes there and we get Jaylen Brown back. It's not like he's signing with Boston. Like, we're trading him there. We're saying, you know what? We're so much better than you. You can have them, and we'll take Brown back in a minute. And let me be honest with you. Are the Celtics a better basketball team with Ben Simmons? Sure. I don't know if they upgrade win-loss wise by getting rid of Brown in addition to Simmons. I don't think that happens at all, but I think they're probably maybe better, maybe in a different way.
Chemistry-wise, they're better, but then you have the same, again, assuming that Simmons is always going to be this guy, borderline all-star, but a liability in the playoffs. They might be a better regular season team, might be better chemistry-wise, defense-wise, size-wise, all that. But then come around playoff time, well, if he's the same guy, then you're going to have to rely on Jason Tatum to be that again. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need Jason Tatum to be a winning type player. So I understand what Kep is saying. And listen, do I want him out of sight, out of mind? Sure, absolutely. But if you're getting a player in return like Jaylen Brown, you do that. And to the pettiness side of me, especially because I'm going to be peak pettiness when it comes to Ben Simmons, I need him in my life. Like, I need him in Boston because I already hate Boston more than I mostly hate the Cowboys. Like, Boston's my most hated team in all of sports. For me, to add Ben Simmons to that, I need that in my life. Like, I need it. It might not end well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might come back and haunt us and he might change or they might beat us in the second round. All that's fine. I need that rivalry to happen because it gets us Jaylen Brown, who, to your point, Tom, is one of the top. I'm not going to say the top option, but when you talk about age, years of control, ways you can get better, shown that he's gotten better, and many, many things that he can do for a basketball team, he's up there as far as one of the best compliments to Joel Embiid and what we have on this roster. You don't really have to touch anything about the starting five. You really don't. You just put him at the 3. You take Danny Green off the bench. Cool, great, awesome. A lot of people don't even think Danny Green's that much of a starter anymore. Maxey's still your point guard. Curry's still your 2. Tobias, Embiid. You have a deeper bench now because now you have Danny Green coming off the bench. I mean, where do I freaking sign up? Where do I sign up? And
real quick, there isn't a better one. Like you said, there might not be a better one. I'm just going to answer that. There isn't a better one. There is not a better deal that I've heard. Even the Damian Lillard deal, which I'm all in for. Jaylen Brown to me is a better deal. It's a better deal. I'm getting a younger basketball player, a player who's gotten better every year, a player that is in a situation where his running mate plays the same damn position essentially, and they're both almost in a competition on who gets more shots. Like, it's not a good situation at all, and that's why the Boston Celtics have gone south. Okay, so I mean that's not the only reason, but that's part of the reason is those two. Where we talk about Joe and Ben not being able to play together, which they absolutely can, and have showed they can. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum has almost showed the opposite, where like we thought that they were going to be the rising duo in basketball. If you went back 2 or 3 years ago, till right now, right? Like they're an average team.
And you know what it is? I've never seen a team recent wise, like I can go back obviously, that has 2 extremely talented stars in Brown and Tatum. And I'm not even including Marcus Smart, who we obviously like. I think Robin Williams is really good. Like Horford works there. Like they have a really solid roster. I've never seen a team that has that star power that has an identity crisis. but they have an identity crisis because it comes down to it. And like we always joked about with like, oh, Simmons and Embiid can't play together. Everyone talked about that, but it's really about these two. It's about these two. And I'm not saying this as a Sixers fan. I hear it from Boston fans, and we're seeing it on the court. So, like, the biggest thing that I think about, honestly, is, and you asked a great question, Tom, a second ago, and that was, why does Tatum get the spotlight instead of Jaylen Brown? Like, why is Tatum, like, the can't-miss attraction? I think it comes down to initial impressions. It's that, I'm not going to say Jaylen Brown got off to a slower start in his career, but Jason Tatum, I mean, we saw this from, it feels like the first week of that season when Fultz and Tatum were rookies. It was like, oh, Jesus Christ, we should have had Tatum. They should have had Fultz. So it's like the initial response from the fan base around the league was like, okay, Tatum's awesome and he's going to get better. And really, he hasn't. He's very good. He's just not a winning player, in my opinion. And Jaylen Brown every year has gotten better and caught up to the Ben Simmons and the Jason Tatums of the world.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. Yeah, definitely where you're drafted, your status on where you're drafted, where you're coming, what school you're coming out of. I think all of them, factor into that for sure.
The other question is, real quick, Bully McGuire, boys, who's winning tonight? Knicks or Sixers? I mean, do we have a team tonight, Tom?
And I say that, and the Sixers probably win again. I mean, how would you bet against them? Like, asking for a gambling side of it, like, how do you bet against them? Like, tonight's not a night I'm betting against them. I mean, I take them. They're going to somehow be in this basketball game. I don't even know what the line is. I can't bet because I'm in Maryland. So DraftKings is, like, checking my location. Like, I can't even put a bet in. Like, how does that even make sense? If my account's created somewhere, I should be able to put a bet in wherever I'm at.
It shouldn't be based off of your home address. Like, if you're a resident of the state and it's legal, if I have a work business meeting in friggin' Maryland, I'll just use Maryland, then, okay, I still live 53 weeks out of the year in Jersey. I don't know. Help us help you. Help us help you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I saw a question too, and this is where, like, and I see, there's the people of Twitter, and then there's the beat writers, Tom, which I know you and I laugh at all the time. After this came out from Shams, there was a bunch of people, both Philadelphia and Boston related beat writers, that said, well, the money doesn't work, therefore Josh Richardson has to go in the deal. Okay. 2 reasons why that doesn't work. Well, one big reason, and it took me 2 seconds on the machine to figure that out. Josh Richardson can't be traded this year because he was just extended. So for everyone saying, oh, well, you got to take Josh Richardson back, it's not, you can't. You can't. And people saying Al Horford, like, yeah, would we take Al Horford to get Jaylen Brown and then ship him off somewhere? Yeah, like that's fine. People talking about, okay, what would the structure of the deal look like? Number one, I think if it is to happen, I think it's going to be a 3-team deal. That way Boston's getting some extra and we're coming out with Jaylen Brown, and that way the money can work and everything. But if it's just a Celtics Sixers package, and Tom, tell me if you would do this, aside from us just getting Brown and getting rid of Simmons, the easiest way I can do it, it's Simmons and Springer for Jaylen Brown and the guy Hernan Gomez, because he's making like $8 million. And if you want to add picks in there to make it worthwhile for the Celtics, be my guest.
Well, listen, I do it no matter what you're putting in there. So, you're asking the wrong guy. If I can finally shed this guy and get rid of him, it doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter who's got to get put in the deal to make it work. Brink said, I don't buy the rumor because Boston doesn't get better with Simmons or Brown, but they do in a way because they're not working right now.
Yeah,
like those two together are not working, and they had a closed team meeting, and after the team meeting, Marcus Smart said, "Well, nothing got accomplished." Wait, what happened? You said a team meeting and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everything's still everything is still in not
limbo. It's still
everything's in limbo. Yeah, we don't know what came out of it. None of that makes sense. That tells me that a team has no direction right now, and they're looking to shake things up a little bit. And why wouldn't they be interested? It's not like Boston's loaded right now. It's not like they're playing at a high level basketball. I mean, like we said, there's always somebody out there that thinks they can they can change a guy, right?
Well,
And the only reason he's meeting with the Sixers doctors is because young Das is because of him getting fined.
do you by the way, Tom, aside from like you said, people would want to fix him and all that stuff. And Brinks, I understand, like, on the surface, it seems, well, Jaylen Brown's a better player than Simmons, so why would they do it? It's about, to Tom's point, the structure. Yeah, fam, it's not a bathroom. I don't know where the bathroom. I don't know of a TV in a bathroom. I mean, if you have a TV in a bathroom, then good for you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have TVs in my bathroom.
I'm traveling, Bobby. That's why, Bobby. That's I wish I could get your jersey back. I wish I could send it back after your bathroom comment. Wish I could find UPS and say, just pull that one out of the truck for me.
Yeah, retract that. Retract it. Retract. It's that the structure up there and the culture has gotten so bad to where, like, they might have to trade two guys, Tom. Like, Marcus Smart's not happy. Like, so Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart might have to go. Like, it might just be like, oh, okay, Tatum's our guy. Let's build around Tatum and we'll figure it out. And I'm not trying to say, Jason Tatum's a cancer, but when you have those two guys in Marcus Smart, it's shown in the past it doesn't work, and it's continuing to get worse, to Tom's point. Also, the little eerie silver lining into this, too, between the Celtics and the Sixers. You know who the head coach of the Celtics are, Tom? Who their head coach is?
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name, but I know who he is.
Ime Udoka, formerly of your Philadelphia 76ers.
What did he do here? Was he an assistant coach or something?
Yep.
What, under Brett?
Yep, I believe so.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Listen, there was two coaches I knew under Brett, and they both are head coaches right now, and I didn't know that one. So now Brett's got a tree that's fucking, he got a pop tree. I mean, now Brett's got a tree. Well, that's good news then. And then that would be a guy who thinks he can maybe fix them. That'd be the only reason they were linked to this, is that he believes in them. And there's guys that are so palmsy out there that love a guy like this.
And the biggest thing too, Tom, and you made a great point saying, like, it's tough to just put a blanket statement on there like championship contenders or best in the East. But you know what it does? It does something automatically that I don't think, even though we're playing really good basketball, I don't think we could say about this team currently constructed. If you add Jaylen Brown to this team, you can absolutely compete with the Nets and the Bucks. I don't know if you can in the playoffs with the team as is. They're a very good team. They're an exciting team. I give them a ton of credit, but you've got a whole different animal with those other two teams. If you added Jaylen Brown to it, who is that go-to scorer down the stretch, can give you friggin' 30 any night he needs you to, or you need him to, with also a defensive presence, in addition to what you have, then you can have a conversation about, like, oh yeah, you can beat the Nets in the 7-game series. You can beat the Bucks in the 7-game series. And I don't think I'm overstating that.
Well, no, I mean, you're not overstating anything right now. I mean, they're an 8-2 basketball team, and they've been doing it with guys in and out all the time. So, I mean, you're just going off of that, and you add something like that because you're not getting rid of anything. Like, okay, maybe Danny Green has to go in a deal, hypothetically, right? I'm just throwing all kinds of different possibilities in here that might need to happen to make a deal work, right? I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs on what would need to make this deal work, but maybe they want a little bit more, right? Maybe they want two defensive guys back in a deal like this. Okay, so does that not make us better, though? Like, even if we just got Jaylen Brown back, I know that money doesn't work, but and a lower level player to make the money work, right? Whatever. Doesn't that make us better, though, than we are right now? So essentially, you're trading Danny Green for Jaylen Brown. And yeah, Ben Simmons is in it, but he's not even playing. So he's irrelevant to this basketball team and anything we've seen. And I think the big thing that we saw is we're talking about our bench scoring. Like, dude, this is important. When you're talking about 3 guys off your bench that can drop 20 plus on any night, that makes you so deep it's not even funny anymore. Like, you're talking about Furkan, Niang, and Shake Milton all have the ability to go 15 a night off your bench. The ability to. So when you have that, and then you have a stat stuffer like an Andre Drummond who will come in, just going to walk into 10 boards, just walk into it, right? You're really good. This is why the team's as good as they are, right? It's because you're just a solid unit. And sometimes the lack of star power and only having like one big star, but you have a complete roster. This is sometimes what you get. Is what you get is this situation. Guys like, wow, this team looks really good together. Look at all the spacing. Like nobody ever wants to talk about. The spacing is incredible. It's impeccable, right? I mean, there's shooters all over the basketball court for Joel Embiid. All over the basketball court. And I'm not trying to crown any of these guys more than they are. We talk about Seth, right? You're talking about, I mean, Danny struggled, but we know Danny can at least shoot it enough, okay?
Yeah, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out.
Niang, Furky. I mean, you got guys who can just stroke it, and Tobias has been out. But these other guys, like, you have a lot of shooting around your big man, more than I think has ever been around them, honestly. And then you're not getting hurt by a guard, a point guard that is, that doesn't want to stretch the floor at all. So now you're not getting hurt by that. It's actually helping this basketball team. And Joel Embiid hasn't even had his usual Joel Embiid type numbers this year. And you're 8-2. Just think about that for a second. So if anybody out there says no to the poll, like, or disagrees to it, get your head checked. Just get your head checked.
You know what's crazy too, Tom? And like I'll check the scores just to be sure, but I'm fairly certain I'm around the right track here. The biggest thing, and I'm just talking about on the surface, let alone we've been without. I mean, we've been without a max guy in Toby, a max guy in Ben, Danny Green, who's a veteran presence, who's big on defense. Before the year, if all those guys were healthy and we were just missing 25, it was, oh, your defense is going to suffer. Oh, you're not going to be able to limit anybody below, 115, 120 points. We all were told that by the so-called geniuses out there, Tom. Oh, you guys will get ran out of the floor, ran out of the gym because your best defender is a big man and he can't guard the perimeter. Okay. And I'm not saying we didn't have any mild concerns to worries about our perimeter defense, because as much as we hate 25 and we think he's a scumbag, we know that he provides some good things on the perimeter for us. The fact that he can guard 1 through 5 on any given night. But in the season where we've been without Tobias for, it seems like 75% of it, Danny Green for 75%. Now you're going to be without even more guys. Matisse Thybulle against Chicago. Listen to the last handful of games. Bulls, 105 points. Pistons, 98. Bulls, 98. Blazers, 103. Hawks, 94. Pistons, 102. Knicks, 112. Thunder, 103. Pelicans, 97.
Got a common theme there.
Still getting palmsy, Tom.
Well, I mean, I said this. I mean, I'm not saying that you didn't or anybody else didn't. I'm just saying, like, remember something I said. I can't remember it. And sometimes I don't remember that. But, like, you still have you still have a good defensive unit. I mean, your basket is still protected with a guy like Joel Embiid around, a guy like Andre Drummond around. So you still have that protection back there. But it's really about just getting hands and faces around the perimeter. And honestly, anybody can do that. It has a 1-2. I mean, defense is all about a 1-2. It's not necessarily like, well, this guy's so talented, right? Like, he's just such a good defender. He's so talented, Tom. Dude, defense has always been about the 1-2. Always been. So if you have guys that are willing to play defense, guys who want to play defense, guys on a roster that buy into playing defense, like Tyrese Maxey can be 6'3". It doesn't matter. He can be 6 foot. If he buys into being palmsy and being quick out there and trying to get hands and faces, I'm not telling you he's going to be Ben Simmons on the defensive end, but I'm telling you that it's not this gigantic drop-off. Not saying, guys, listen, we had Ben Simmons on the perimeter, and we still got crushed around the perimeter, if you remember in year 10.
God, absolutely we did.
Guards would just put up 35 on us whenever they wanted. So, honestly, I would always take the smaller, quicker guard. Me personally, not saying I wouldn't take Ben. I'm just saying that, like, I would always take the smaller guard that can keep up with some of these guards.
Well, you in a vacuum, right? Because still people, even after these games I'm going to mention, people are saying, oh, well, Tyrese Maxey is a point guard and one of their best scorers on the opposing side. That's not going to age well. Okay. I'm going to name 2 games. And again, I understand it's 2 games out of 82, a long season, all that stuff. You go back and look at how he guarded Trae Young and Damian Lillard. I'm not going to say, oh, this means he's an all-NBA defender. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's comparing him to Ben. Nobody's doing that. He has done a tremendous job when nobody's even expected anything from him on defense. To use his speed, keep up with guys, get deflections, not get into foul trouble, which we saw in the playoffs, that it was a walking nightmare. The younger guys, 3 quick fouls. And that's going to happen with a younger player. He's done a tremendous job with things that he's not even expected to do. It's just, he was drafted here to get out on the floor, score, be the lightning bolt, not run an offense, not do any of that, not put other guys in positions to succeed. Get in there, get the ball, score. If you think about all the things he has on his friggin' plate, and I'm not saying he's been perfect, but damn, if there's any questions still out there about the toughness, the flat out ceiling that this guy can have about Tyrese Maxey, I don't know what to tell people. I don't. I'm not saying this guy's going to be a generational talent, but the amount of improvements this guy has made in a year and a half compared to some guys, 25, that hasn't done anything is astounding to me.
No, listen, it is. It is. I mean, you watch the guy get better. I mean, we talked about this prior to the season that I thought your offense was going to run better. And people laughed at me. Hey, you talking about that? I'm just telling you, I think your offense is going to run better because your pick and roll game's better, right? You have a guy that has a quickness to get to the basket at will now, right? And those types of things. And then people, like, he might not be the greatest 3-point shooter, but you still got to respect him taking the shot. And that's the difference maker. So now things open up. Your offense can actually run, right? You can't run an offense if one guy refuses to shoot and everybody knows it. So it's not like we just know it here. The whole league knows it. Dude, our problem is, since Boston showed it to the world 3 years ago, all right, or maybe 4, I don't remember how long ago it was, 3 or 4 years ago, the first time we lost to Boston, they showed the world in the postseason how to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They showed the world that. They just dropped off. They sagged. And said, go ahead. Time's yours to shoot it. And he didn't. And that's a reason for an exit. And if you continue to go year in, year out, the same issues were there on a reason we were second round exits. Because the better the team gets, right, the more pressure it is on your guys to play better basketball, right? So the margin of error is so much smaller when you get to the second round, the Eastern Conference Finals, etc., that you can't get away with that.
Molly, I'll check for you, brother. He probably put something on YouTube and StreamYard didn't show it. No, but you're absolutely right, Tom. You're absolutely right. They showed the formula way back in 2018 to be like, okay, they do not have a half-court offense with Ben Simmons here. They don't. And they showed you the formula, and everybody has followed it. Every single team has followed it since. I saw a question that you put up there a second ago, Tom, a few minutes ago, from Marston saying, can Jaylen Brown be a closer, though? Absolutely he can. Absolutely he can.
Yeah, I have no problem with him being a closer, to answer that question. I mean, again, he's on a team where the other closer plays the same position. I mean, this is what everybody's missing. Joel Embiid, as a big man, it's hard to be a closer, right? And you've seen why we've won some games recently is because your perimeter guys come up with big shots when Joe gets doubled, right? Or they get the ball out of his hands, whatever the case may be, okay? So, yes, I mean, there's nothing to tell me he can't be one, right? And I think when you team him up with a guy like Joel Embiid, I think it even says yes, even more. This is why Ben Simmons will go down as the biggest mystery of all time, because you have a big man who should make things on the perimeter easier for you, and you still refuse to do it.
So think about 2 minutes left to go in a game. Say it's against Boston. Say it's against Ben in Boston. And you have the 5 guys on the floor: Brown, Maxey, Curry, Tobias, and Embiid. So for all of the things that we've seen in the past, what they do to Joe, double team him, sometimes triple team him, smother him, keep him out of the paint, all that. Let them do that. Let them try to do that. Because are they going to double team him and then leave Seth Curry wide open? Have fun. They're going to leave Jaylen Brown wide open? Have fun. Going to leave Tobias Harris wide open to either make a 3 or drive the lane that he's very good at doing, which I wish he did more of? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to say this is an unguardable team, but we know as great as Joel Embiid is, we know that if you have a big man, you can, as an opposing defense, you can try and absolve that threat of Joel Embiid down low late in games. It's easier to game plan for that. That's why we said we need a second closer. That way you can't beat both. It's like, okay, do you want to get beat by the center or do you want to get beat by the perimeter jump shot that is going to be the closer for you? That's why everyone talks about, what could have been with Jimmy, because Jimmy at least had that ability.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a younger, I honestly, no disrespect to Jimmy Butler, I think better option here with more years of control. You're not going to be able to absolve both. And that's with Seth Curry being, he's been tremendous. He's been the second best, sometimes best player on this team, not only this season, but since the playoffs when Joel's been hurt.
Absolutely. And
I'm not even, including Tyrese Maxey is going to get better. Tobias is, like somebody said earlier, do you even need Tobias? Well, you're not trying to just cancel that out. No, I'm not saying you get Jaylen Brown. It's like, just get rid of Tobias for, Bagley and picks. No, you don't do that. But don't you think, everyone at home, that makes Tobias Harris's job that much easier? Because he really only needs to focus on what he does better. He doesn't have to be that closer, which we know, he's not really that closer.
Yep, that he struggles with at times.
Yeah. He could be that efficient 20, 25 point a night guy. He's going to be able to drive the lane. He can get a 3-point shot if he needs to, and he's going to be there on the defensive end. Isn't that good that we're actually lessening the burden on the Tobias Harris thing? I think that's a perfect formula.
I think it is.
And the other thing, real quick, I meant to mention about Maxey, Tom. Doc Rivers talked about this. I believe it wasn't after they beat. They won this last game. I think it was a couple games ago. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was after Wednesday's game. He was talking about Tyrese Maxey as a point guard, and he said something that I think is a great sign. He thinks Tyrese Maxey has been a little too unselfish. And I think that's great to hear about a young star in Maxey who, usually you hear the other way around. You hear a Colin Sexton, which, it sucks for him that he's going to be out indefinitely with the injury. But you hear, Colin Sexton, he's a young guard that's too selfish with the ball. He doesn't get his teammates involved enough. So to hear a Doc Rivers say, no, I want Tyrese Maxey to shoot more. I want him to attack more. That's awesome to hear, because that means, oh my God, this guy's holding back on what he can do.
Yeah, you would think that a little bit, right? And there's more there. There's more there, and he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I take that a little bit.
And the good thing is, and again, another thing he's added to his game, and I don't know his 3-point percentage off the top of my head, but something that he's added the step back 3-point shot. It looks like the Harden thing, but I'm not comparing it to Harden. But that's something he didn't even attempt last year. That's something he's gone to later in games, whether it's a long 2, which we saw, I believe minute and 30 seconds left to go against Chicago the other night. And we've seen it early in the year from 3 also. So we already know when he drives the lane and he does that mid-stride little, this thing, whatever this little palms up little shot is at the rim, that's unstoppable. The mid-range game looks very good when he just jumps up and he's driving to the lane. But the fact that he's willing now and he's able to at least efficiently enough shoot from 3, I could talk for 4 hours about Tyrese Maxey. I really could. Because it's so refreshing to see a point guard attack, a point guard get better, have willingness to get his teammates involved, but also, even though he isn't the biggest guy in the world, have capabilities on defense that people didn't expect him to. I don't know. I just rant and rave about the guy.
No, listen, there's a lot of good things to say about Tyrese Maxey, right? And everybody with a feel should know that. You watched him get better last year when he could have went the opposite way, right? Where he could have sulked. Minutes wasn't getting as many minutes, right? And not even getting as many minutes, just wasn't playing. Where we're all like, oh, wonder what happened to him, right? And we're not worried about it. We're like young player. And then he got time to play as the year went on. And you saw a guy who got better in the middle of a season. And I'm not telling you he's a finished product, but I did remember our conversation, prior to the season when we talked about guys' numbers. And I said, this year he should take a jump to around 14, 15 a game. Mm-hmm. And that shows that he's going to be a legit scorer in this league. So no, he's not a finished product. No, this isn't the final Tyrese Maxey you're going to see. This is just the beginning of a guy getting better right in front of our own eyes. And to your point, it's refreshing to see it because we watched another guy at the point guard position do quite the opposite. Bobby, yes, he does make it a championship contender, and I am willing to ride with Maxey. And knowing that, I do have a guy with a little bit more experience behind him in Shake that's capable of running the point too. So it's not like I don't have a point guard here. I don't think I need a 10-year vet like Chris Paul, to be able to get to where I want to get to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Am I concerned, Tristan, that he's out with COVID? Like in terms of his health? No, I'm not concerned about that side of it. And missing 10 games is never fun. But get it out of the way, right? I always look at like okay, I don't got to deal with him, Toby, some of these guys going through this again, and they're my two big money guys that I'm going to need. So knowing that I'm not going to deal with them guys anymore, and it sort of ran through, our team a little bit, I'm okay with it. The other side of it is, people need to shut up. Like, you understand it's a $1 billion company, the NBA. You understand that they can't have blood on their hands per se. So yes, they do have to test guys, even if they are vaccinated. All right, there's a lot of freaking people in an arena, right? Not only the 20,000 people going to watch a game, all the people behind the scenes that nobody even talks about. So yes, it is pretty important to still test guys, even if they are vaccinated, to make sure you ain't shutting the league down again. So yes, guys, there is some common sense to it. I know that, I saw some people on Facebook how are they still doing this? It's 2022. Okay. So we think that 2 years went by and it just went away? No, we all want to move on with our lives, and we're all trying to, right? In all our own ways. But you can't be mad at $1 billion business for dotting I's and crossing T's, dude. I mean, come on. I see so many people upset about it out there and on the social media world. Relax, dude. This is why even get, and then we're getting why even get vaccinated? Dude, one has nothing to do with the other. Okay? If anybody had a feel, that you can still get it from day one, even if you were vaccinated. It just takes your chances of being in the hospital down. Yeah. That was the whole point of it. So they still have to test. They still have to make sure there's not outbreaks inside the organization, because if they were complicit of knowing something and not reporting something, you lose your business.
Well, number one, I can believe it, but I think it's hilarious that people are still questioning it. The whole why is this happening? Or, the perfect response for all these things, Tom. And I get it. Everyone has a different stance on it. We obviously know each other's and all that stuff. But it is what it is. It's the way it's got to be. Nobody's happy. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't question it. Don't fight it, because it is what it is. That's what people need to understand.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at Rodgers. I don't care. That's everybody's choice. So why would I be mad at a guy? That's on his organization to know, because there was protocols put in that he didn't follow, or the organization didn't, right? And that could create some problems. God forbid a staff member gets really sick, right? That's the point of the lawsuits, is why you can't be complicit to it and say, oh, well, you don't, Carson Wentz is not vaccinated, but the dude's wearing a mask and pressers, etc., because that's the protocols. So in any line of work, you have to follow whatever protocols your company puts out, right? Because they're paying you a lot of money. So I'm not getting into this. I'm just saying,
no, you're spot on. You're spot
people
on.
Are why do you got people care? Okay, and he'll be back in 10 days and he won't have to do it again. So is it ideal? No. Do I love it? No. Do I understand why guys are still getting tested? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's just business 101.
People, the last thing I'll say real quick before I know Donovan has a super chat, which we appreciate, Don. People focus far too much on the people that don't even affect them. You know what I'm saying? Aaron, What Aaron Rodgers does with his life does not affect me. That interview we had on McAfee's show or the friggin' all this stuff, it did not change my life 1%. And there are people who will go out there, whether it's national people, local people, whoever, and will act like, oh my God, this Aaron Rodgers thing, he ruined my entire week. Read a book. Go for a walk. Friggin' people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't stop it. He did. I can't. Donovan, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Don. I mean, he might not even miss that many games. No. So, we'll see. But it is what it is. Like, I mean, I just don't. The people getting so hurt by it, like, it just amazes me. Like, okay, dude, like that's billion-dollar companies. That's the way they're going to go about their business. Like, stop getting so mad about it. Like, who cares? Like, you pray the guy is healthy, and he probably will be, and you move on, right? And that's all you can do. Yeah, exactly, Cap. Like, I can control what happens in my circle, right? I can't control what happens outside of my circle. So I said it today to my buddies. Like, I don't care. I'm pro-choice, babe. So as long as your choice don't affect my family, I'm pro-choice. Simple as that. So if your choice dictates my family, then I'm pro what I think. Or if your choice affects my business, but none of these businesses, remember, the NBA nor the NFL, you're not forced to do it. You're not forced to. There's just different requirements that come if you don't want to be. That's it. So all these people are up in arms like they're forcing you to get it. No, they're not. You just got to get tested every day then. So your choice. They're still giving you a choice, but they have to. If you want stadiums open and you want to be able to go to the damn games, okay, especially inside arenas, everybody out there, buy a fucking clue, please. Okay? Buy a clue.
The video you posted on your personal yesterday, Tom, is perfect because people act like they're holding Rodgers or Lamar or Carson down like freaking Sarah Connor on the table. Like, no, you're not. You can't. Like, nobody's holding anybody down. Nobody's choices. Like, the Aaron Rodgers thing, it didn't affect me or Tom or anybody enough to be like, oh, I can't have dinner tonight because of Aaron Rodgers. Or, oh, I can't have water. No, you know what? I'm going to have a sip right now because it doesn't affect me.
And this is the first time we actually talk about this stuff. Like, we don't let it go, but the national media just runs with it. Like, it's like, oh my God, he said he was immunized. He didn't. Like, who cares? That's on the Packers. That's on him. That's on the organization he works for. Okay, if staff members and different people want to be bothered by him because they may have thought some way and it wasn't, and they were around him, that's for them. That's for them to be bothered over. But the national media, you know. The national media just get a clue. Like I said, everybody just needs to get a clue. If you don't understand why they're testing players still, like again, Google stuff and not Twitter stuff, right? Like Google why. Just Google why. And if you own a business, then you really understand why. And if you want to go to the fucking games, unlike last year, this is the way it has to go.
Tom, you're spot on. The last thing I'll say, because like, you and I never talk about this stuff ever because I, like, you know, many other people here, like people come here to get our opinions about Simmons' stupid antics. Like, I'm not a freaking doctor, like none of this, but like, I think it comes to a point when, because we, at the end of the day, we're just regular people. Like, we don't have a freaking agenda. We don't care about anything that's not going to like immediately, you know, affect, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to get up in arms about something stupid. It's like, I think it's important for people out there to realize, like, it's not the norm. Like, Tom and I disagree on a lot of different stuff. Me and Ralph do. Me and Greg do. But at the end, it's like, it's freaking, like, it's just, this is the normal thing. This is just two normal guys and how we think. And it's silly that, like, people with a much bigger platform than us are talking about it like it's like the worst thing to happen of this generation. It's not.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be okay.
And then where's the outrage for this, right? Like you know, okay, Aaron Rodgers lied to the Packers in the NFL. Well, okay, that's for them to figure out. This dude killed somebody, like, and I don't want to say purposely, but essentially you can say purposely, right? If you think you're that much bigger than the world. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't either. Like Aaron Rodgers thinks his shit don't stink, and that's fine. All right. But there's one that's nobody even talked about this week. It was almost like Ruggs with the victim. Like, what? What are you talking about? So, listen, it is what it is what it is.
See, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That should be on a T-shirt, Tom. It is what it is.
Nothing we can do about it.
No.
Right? We're gonna go to the internet and fight it. Like, oh my God, Joel should have never been tested.
I wish I was that.
It's unbelievable.
I wish I was that powerful. Actually, no. I wish I was. I'm glad I'm not that powerful to where a freaking Twitter post is going to make that big of an impact.
That too, John. Yes. you get him a little 2 weeks down. Let that knee breathe a little bit. Jeremiah, thanks, brother. He said the national media gets paid to have those polarizing opinions. Regular people who are butthurt about that have to get a clue about their priorities. Yeah.
Speaking of polarizing, Tom, and this might be breaking to me, and I alluded to it right before we came on the air to you. You apparently said something on your video last night regarding, I guess, it was supposed to be a video about the flower bouquets and everything, but it seems like people had something more polarizing that came out of it. You apparently said something polarizing that started with and ended with the fact that Justin Herbert's better than Jalen Hurts. Apparently, that's polarizing. Apparently, that's haterish.
Yeah, I'm a hater again because if I look at both guys, it's pretty clear who a franchise guy is, and it's pretty clear who a guy that is just a guy is, and that's what we're sitting here watching. And I hate to break the news to people and tell you how it is, but this guy is not a franchise quarterback, and anybody that thinks that, I'll say, just like people think we're making the playoffs. You were literally rubbing the green Kool-Aid all over your pores. And I'm asking you to put it down. I'm asking you to take a step away from the game a little bit and watch it just as a fan of the sport and watch the two guys compete versus each other and tell me that one guy is not light years ahead of another guy. And if you don't see that, then I'll be a hater then. And I'll be a hater and I'll continue to try to watch sports and give you my honest opinion of stuff and not stuff because I'm an Eagles fan, all right? Still wearing it, even though I'm a hater, but not stuff just because I'm a fan that I have to drink the Kool-Aid and tell you everybody's the greatest and every draft pick's going to work and all these things, all right? Watch the game yesterday and tell me there's not throws again that need to be made and still aren't. And people will tell me, well, give them time to develop, Tom. How much longer are we willing to do this for? If you don't run the ball 35 times a game, you're not even in football games. That's all you need to know in a pass-happy league. You're not even in football games unless you're running the ball 30 times a game. Not even in it. You get blown out like you did weeks prior. Not even in a football game. Guy threw 17 attempts yesterday. And listen, I want to run the ball. I get it. 17 attempts, and people want to tell me that he's a franchise quarterback? The week before he had fucking 13. You all out there need to get a clue. You can love him. He can look great in a uniform. He can look cool. He can say all the right things in pressers because he's a good kid. Yeah. But that has nothing to do with his ability on the football field. For Nick Sirianni, as my head coach, to lie to me again and tell me there's quarterbacks in the league that can't do what he does. What is he doing that I'm missing? Because I'm more asking the people out there. I've asked it for weeks now on what he does elite, and nobody can give me the answer. They just tell me I'm a hater. So I'm going to ask it again because my coach wants to do this. All right? What happened? And what did he do that nobody else in the league can do yesterday? I fucking need to know. Because maybe my eyes are lying to me. Like, I need to know. Shut up about it's the defense's fault, bully. Stop. I know the defense stinks, and we'll get into that. But we got to address the quarterback, though. Mm-hmm. He's what drives the team.
You know what's funny, Tom? He's not only wrong, Sirianni. He's not only wrong in numerous aspects, but he's lying in numerous aspects. Because let's just take the two biggest.
Merrill's 90. Right, Marky Mark? I mean, Merrill is 90 years old. With all due respect to the great Merrill Reese, he's 90. I'll take my eyes over his eyes any day of the week.
I do. Listen, I may not agree with Merrill, but I do give him credit. I a lot of respect points for calling up to his own radio station and going off the handle. I do give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I'm not even saying it's ballsy because Merrill Reese could do that. But beside the fact, what Sirianni said yesterday. All right. Okay, if we're gonna actually act for 1 second that Jalen Hurts can do something that other quarterbacks can't, all right, he can't throw like many other quarterbacks. He doesn't have the arm talent, so that's not something that he's better at than anybody. He doesn't have the running capabilities like Lamar Jackson does. Or I can keep going. Like, it's not just Lamar, but I could just stop at Lamar and end at Lamar because if the guy's saying nobody else can do things, well, I just named 2 guys like that. So what else does he do? Is he a better leader than anybody else? No, I would say that's probably greatest of all time, Tom Brady. Like, I think leadership has kind of been important because he's won literally everywhere he's been, like, immediately in 2 seconds. He doesn't have the throwing capabilities, the running capabilities. So where is it? Where is it? You could just say, hey, in the second half, he put the team on his back. He put his body on the line. He showed us some things. And none of that I would disagree with. There was some really good moments in that game where he kept us in it and he took us down and we scored. The offense looked maybe as good as it's done all year. But this is where we got to stop. Like, just because we say, oh, he's not as good as Herbert, we're not saying he's 50th in the league. But if you say, oh, he had a good game, then it's automatically, oh, well, he's top 5. No. There's a world, ladies and gentlemen, where Jalen Hurts can just be an okay quarterback. And it seems like to a lot of people in the fan base, that's okay. That's good enough. And this is where we differ. Because this is just me. I'm not going to say everyone should think like this. I look at somebody that's on the other side of the field just yesterday in Justin Herbert, and I strive for that guy. And if I know that Jalen Hurts isn't even in the same class as him, don't you think we would want to, as a fan base, let alone an organization, say, I want one of them, somebody who can be a bona fide top 3, top 5 quarterback in the league for 15 years? I'm not saying Jalen Hurts can't be a starting quarterback. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts can't have a career in the NFL. But this is where people get under Tom's skin and go, and I don't even go crazy about this, where we just start getting crazy. Did he have solid moments? Yes. Do you have things that you can build off of? Yes. But I'm trying to strive for a game-changing quarterback to where even if we don't have the best wide receiving core or running back core or head coach or defense, hey, can this guy any given Sunday lead us to a victory without freaking running the ball 30 times? I can't say yes to that.
Well, that's the funny thing, right? And, Bobby touching on something I was going to say anyway, right? Like, so you played to make things easier on your quarterback, right? And he still misses throws. And big ones at that. You are now limited. You are now one-dimensional if you want to try to win football games. And Devin, yeah, it was Chris Sims, but I brought it up on a couple of shows back that he's probably right, because that's where he stands. Herbert, Jeremiah, thank you for the super chat. Herbert to me. Nothing against Joe Burrow, but gun to my head, I'm taking Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert is more consistent. Joe Burrow is more of a big play type guy, and he's going to make more mistakes.
And Jay's right. Like, put any top 15 quarterback in this offense, same play calls, I bet we'll have a winning record. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Like, all the throws that we've talked about since essentially week 2, right, that have been missed. That's just what we see clear as day. That's without even going back and really looking. That's just the clear ones.
Oh, Tom, if we really had an agenda against this guy, you and I could be coming in every Monday, Thursday, Sunday, whenever we do a show, and talking about his friggin' throw charts that's literally only on one part of the field. You know what I'm saying? And like Mike McFly, before we get to Mitchell, he says Justin Herbert don't grow on trees, Ryan. I'm not saying they do, Mike McFly, but are we just going to settle like, oh, it's kind of hard to find a Justin Herbert of the world, so we're not even going to try? You have draft capital to go out and either find a veteran or go out there and get somebody. Are we just going to settle for somebody who I don't believe, well, I think he can be good. Again, I'm much more high on him than a lot of people. Me. So if anyone wants to call anybody else, I think he could be a good quarterback in this league. But given we're in a rebuild, right, as much as the owner doesn't want to talk about that, and we have all this draft capital and money and picks and all this stuff, I'm trying to get the guy, not a guy. Is that so wrong? Like, I didn't know that would be like a hot take.
No, I thought wanting a game changer at the quarterback position is on everybody's wish list, right? I mean, I just assume that's like your Christmas wish list. That's number one, right? If you don't have one, right, in the NFL, if you don't have one, that's everybody's wish list. I got to get a franchise quarterback. So, I don't understand where people come up with this shit. John, what was he supposed to do? So now he doesn't throw enough, and it's everybody else's fault. Listen, is the defense atrocious? We know this, John. We're talking about the offense right now. We'll get to the defense. What do I want him to do? I want him to hit open targets. The Dallas Goedert ball, fucking atrocious, okay? Atrocious. Dude, the one of Devontae Smith, I'm making that. I'm putting him in a better position for Devontae to make that catch at 39 years old. You would think I'm Tom Brady. At 39 years old than Jalen Hurts. I'll make a better throw right there. At least give him a better chance. Listen, this isn't saying much, okay? I was a goddamn JV quarterback. Now, granted, I lost my job to Joe Flacco, but I'm a JV quarterback, per se. If I had to move positions, all right? I'm making that throw. And there's 20 guys in my neighborhood at 39 that are making that throw. Or at least making it competitive for your guy to be able to make a play. Come on, guys. If we're not all watching the same game. Black Mysterious, thank you for the super chat. He says, honestly, I feel like they're taking the ball out of Hurts' hands because the proof's in the pudding. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. Jay North, thank you. He's a Pop Warner 6U quarterback. And people are like, people let Vick grow. Let Vick grow. Vick, there was nobody that ever came through football at that time that had Michael Vick's attributes. There never was. There was a commercial made of a Michael Vick video game, okay? Because nobody in the history of the NFL before he walked in the door ever had that type of skill set. That type of skill set. Laser arm, 4.340. Nobody ever walked through the door in the NFL ever with that skill set. Was there guys close to it, like Donovan, right? And the list goes on that can move around. Randall, yes, but never to what that guy could do.
Michael Vick was a freak of nature. So I almost want to friggin' turn off the TV set when somebody compares him to Lamar Jackson. But the Michael Vick, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Michael Vick.
Like, just stop saying, like, guys that are generational.
Michael Vick didn't even know the damn offense on his team, and he was a freaking freak of nature. He didn't start reading the playbook until we got to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and
his works. He didn't start reading the playbook until he got out of jail, and he was still a freak.
A fair comp to who, though? Jeremiah? To Jalen? Again, that's not even fair. I mean, you're talking about a guy who runs a 4.2. I mean, that guy's the fastest guy on the football field when he's behind center. Jalen Hurts is not the fastest guy on the football field. Well, first off, he don't go behind center. In the shotgun. And Lamar will at least go into shotgun go into center sometimes too. Just throw it out there. Goes under center sometimes. But again, it's not a fair comparison when we're talking about a guy who has a 4.2 skill set and a big time arm to a guy who doesn't. Now, Lamar, in terms of accuracy issues, things like that, sure. But the other side of the skill set, where Lamar has elite qualities, Jalen doesn't have those elite qualities. He
was saying Lamar's a good comp to Vick.
Look at me. Jeremiah, look what you're making me do. I got to go on a whole little rampage here, and we're on the same page. And yes, he is more of like guys that you just don't come around often. right? I mean, quarterbacks aren't supposed to run 4.2 40s. If a quarterback's the fast guy on the field, you got a weapon on your hands, even if he can't throw.
You know what his comparison is? And I think I've said it once before. The only comparison, or the closest comparison you can make for Jalen Hurts is Trubisky. It's a little bit more mobile Trubisky. No, not a little bit. A more mobile Trubisky. He's going to rely far too heavily on his athleticism, not on his arm. One read, if it's not good enough, he's going to go. See, like, I don't even go to the Russell Wilson thing, Marky Mark. And, like, yes, when you look at him, the movement, the smoothest, yes. But there's so many things that he does, scrambling-wise, arm talent-wise, that Jalen Hurts just doesn't do.
No, Colin, that's probably the best one. A guy who can be in the league for a long time, make a lot of money in this league, but is a stopgap. And listen, we got other things, obviously, outside of just the offense to discuss and Jalen Hurts, but it's not good, guys. And it means that, if you're asking me right now, guess what it means we're doing? We got to go back into the well for one. And if that's trading for one, if that's drafting one again, I mean, this is a situation that we're most likely going to see ourselves in at the end of the year.
This is where, before we go to the defense, this is what I need to remind people of, okay? It would be one thing if Tom or myself or anybody here was trying to say, listen, guys, Jalen Hurts stinks. A better alternative next year is if we go out and we trade for Kirk Cousins or Jimmy Garoppolo or Sam Darnold, who is worse than Jalen Hurts, by the way.
Yeah, I'll take Jalen Hurts over Sam Darnold so everybody can tell me how much of a hater I am.
Yeah. Nobody's saying that. But, again, it's all about context. It's all about what you have coming up in the next 12 months. When you have the type of assets that we have, and you've got these little rumblings that, Russell Wilson might want out. Chris Mortensen's talking about how Russell Wilson has been the white whale of Howie Roseman, and you could try to get him, or you've got, a ton of assets to where you can go out and get a quarterback. I'll just throw Rodgers out there because I know he'll be in the conversation or whatever. We're not saying, replace Jalen Hurts with a guy who sucks. I don't know the next time you're going to be able to realistically trade for a generational talent, one of the greatest quarterbacks of my lifetime in Russell Wilson.
What are you talking about, Samaj? What are you talking about? How's it trash talking? Guys, this is what I asked. This is what I've asked. I asked to see a progression. Okay, this is a marathon of a year, and counting the 3 games last year. What that marathon needs to do when I talk to my kids when we started baseball season, right? Officially started in spring. We talk about this, right? We talk about going upwards. Okay, our trajectory wants to go up in our marathon. Okay, we want to be playing our best baseball the last month of the year. Not that we don't want to play our best baseball the first month of the year, right? But we want to get better as the year goes on. If we're playing great baseball at the beginning, fine. Then we even want to find a way to get better than that. Okay? That's the goal. So when you're judging here, all right, and I'm talking to you as a coach, and I'm judging him, all I asked this year, and Ryan can attest to this, was I wanted to see this as this year goes on. Okay? Do I expect there to be some speed bumps in that? Sure, maybe. I've watched nothing. I've watched a guy not get better. So if you're going to ask me right now if I'm all in on Russell Wilson, I'd be the biggest asshole, and I would ask you, instead of asking people to pound the like right now and hit the subscribe button, all right, I would be bothered if you guys hit the like and subscribe if I told you I'd rather go right now, that I'd rather go into my future with Jalen Hurts over Russell Wilson. My God, guys, I wouldn't ask you to follow this company ever. I wouldn't ask you to follow all our shows. I wouldn't beg for you guys to believe we're the voice of the fucking people. The majority usually is believing in what we're saying, or they agree with us. The majority. It's agree to disagree radio, which, listen, You can have whatever opinion you want, but stop telling me I'm trash talking or I'm being a hater or we're doing this and we're doing that. Like, stop. We're telling you what our eyes are telling us, that he's not fucking good enough. Damn it.
But don't worry though, Tom. According to Shungun 41, you and I, we have a quarterback hating degree.
Okay. I mean, listen, man.
I just think that, you know what I've learned? People just don't have they just don't have the ability to listen to words. They just don't.
No, but you know what you learn though is haters haters the most overused word in 2022.
You know what? The old overused word in Philadelphia was genius when it came to Chip Kelly. Now it's hater.
And it's fine. Like, I mean, that tells me when I'm being called a hater on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever some of my videos goes out to, or whatever shows I'm doing live with you guys, right? When I'm called that, like in the beginning, it made me upset. Like week 3, I was annoyed by it. Now I realize those people can't answer the question, right? You can't. And Shun Gun, here it is. I'm going to ask you, and you got to listen. Time's yours. I'll put up all your comments. What does he do in Jalen Hurts that's elite? Elite. When you answer that, then we can have a real conversation, and we can actually debate. Shut up, dude. Then go away. Then why are you know what I love? Then why are you here? If you don't like us, there's a show after that you might like in the Sports Hounds, or after that in the Flight Zone, or 13 other shows, 12 other shows on this platform that you might like. Okay? So if it's a hater, then stop listening. But you're obviously listening because we're teaching you something.
They're always here, Tom. And I appreciate you, Samaj. I appreciate you.
No, we love you, Samaj. Listen, I want you guys to have different opinions, but tell me, because I want somebody before the show ends shortly to tell me what he does elite so I can have something to rally around.
Because again, maybe like nobody's saying that we know it all or anything, but we've asked the same question since he's been drafted here, which is it's been a minute since he's been drafted here. What he does that should keep us from going back to the well, or trying to get a Wilson or Rodgers or Deshaun Watson if he plays football again. All those things being, counted in for it. That's all we're asking. What should we say? What should we look at and say, you know what? This is the reason, bar none, that instead of going for Wilson or Rodgers or fill in the blank quarterback that could be a bigger game changer next year and for the next 10 to 15 years, what does Jalen Hurts do? We've asked the same question every week, most of the time, multiple times a week. And the only response we've gotten there's 2 responses. I agree, guys, or you guys are haters. So we're going to continue to have the same conversation until someone says an answer where we're like, you know what? Didn't think of that. But if we're asking the same questions for, it seems like almost 2 years now, or at least a year and a half, that's why we're saying, well, if Russell Wilson is available and he's 33 years old, okay.
What rookie year, though, Marky? This is his second year. So we're giving the Ben Simmons rookie year pass now. This is what we're doing again. Right? Keep telling people, this is not his rookie year. You don't know what it takes to be a rookie at the next level. He now knows what it takes because he sat a whole year and played 3 games. So he knows sort of what it entails. Not his rookie year. Not. So
he's gone through 2 off seasons.
I'm not telling you I thought he was going to be elite. Actually, quite the opposite. I'm asking you to tell me what he does that makes you believe he's going to be elite, or what skill set is elite. You guys can't answer the fucking question. This is insanity to me. Nobody can answer it because we're right. And I'm not trying to run around puffing my chest saying we're right, but we're right because there isn't. The only thing that people can say is, oh, he runs around. Okay, and he doesn't even do that. He doesn't even do that in an elite level. Jeremiah, my comp, we appreciate the super chat, my brother. And listen, while we're reading this, everybody out there, pound the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Comment in, let us know. We talk Sixers, we'll talk the Eagles, we'll circle around the NFL. This is where you got to be. And if you're not an A2D member on YouTube, you better become one. All right? The link's right in the comment section. You become an A2D member, you win money gambling advice-wise from Nate Moss and Willie Vegas. You get in the Jersey member wheel every week. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. My comp for Jalen would be Dak if he can develop. I'm an advocate for giving Jalen next year while I build the team. Hopefully he can develop, but if not, I go the Rams route. And Jeremiah, that's fair, okay?
Yeah, yes.
I don't disagree with you anyway. If you want to comp them, I'm not in the business of comping guys. So
no, everybody's different.
Yeah, so comp away. Like, that doesn't bother me, the comps. Unless, like, the comp to Vick will bother me. A comp to Dak, like, okay, all right, let's see. I mean, I didn't think Dak was good enough early on.
Because here's the thing. You know why Dak looked better year one when he didn't have the capabilities throwing at the moment? Way better offensive line, way better running game, way better offense, way better weapons.
Yeah, I don't even know if he had way better weapons, honestly. He had a better running game. Remember, he didn't have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lambs of the world then. He had Des Bryant at the end of his career, per se. So remember, he had Jason Witten, old Jason Witten. Remember, so he almost caught these guys at the end where him and Zeke were the two young guys.
Yeah.
So he had nowhere near the weapons he has right now. Not even close.
We got a response from Shun Gun real quick. I laugh at this because it just falls right into the same thing. And I have a perfect response for it. Without even thinking. You know how I know you guys are first degree haters? You all haven't said anything about the defense.
I have 15 times. I said it in a video earlier, so I just want to confirm this. Said in a video earlier, said to start the show, the worst defense I've seen here in my history of watching Eagles football. So please, we're going to get into the defense, but if you don't realize your franchise goes as your quarterback goes, you're all crazy. All right? Guess who didn't play for Green Bay yesterday? Aaron Rodgers. Guess who just looked like, yeah, there's a team. Pretty funny when you don't have the guy on how your offense looks.
And you know what's funny too? The times, number one, we started the Eagles talking about the defense. Two, there's been plenty of times, I think 3 out of the last 4 shows we've done, Tom, on Mondays, where we've talked majority about the defense, and the chat has said the following. Well, guys, you guys are not going to talk about the quarterback today? You're going to talk about the quarterback today? You guys are ignoring the quarterback? Yeah.
Hold on, son. Who's more? Okay, some real Philly commentators. Who? Guys that are going to give you a hand job and tell you how good he's going to be? Because that's what you're looking for. We don't give out hand jobs here. So go find somebody else behind a dumpster, get your handy, and then maybe come back in a year from now, right? When the guy's not starting anywhere.
It doesn't, like you said, Tom, it doesn't even get me upset about it anymore because I'm not laughing like with them. I'm laughing at I'm laughing at you, Shun Gun, because you have so much time to where you tune into people who you don't like, 2 guys who you don't think know what we're talking about. Fine, awesome, that's great. Then why do you come back every week and you're spam commenting more than even our most regular guys? It's like you're our biggest fans without even realizing it. So I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you because your response to, hey, what does Jalen Hurts do good? Oh, you guys are haters. Okay. Great answer, bud. Great answer.
Come on, Jimmy. He has 2 Pro Bowl caliber, wide receivers. He has a really good offensive line. He had an extremely good run game.
He's one of the best coaches in the game right now in Mike Vrabel.
And they have a defense that beating everybody up. So yes, does it take 2 to tango? Yes, if you don't have an elite quarterback. Now, you still need a decent defense. You can't be going out there like the Chiefs, right? And have the worst defense in football, guys. I mean, come on. There's common sense involved in this too. People, I'm going to freaking go off the handle tonight because I'm pissed about this defense. All right, especially the amount of money I have up front. So what does it tell me? All right, it tells me Josh Sweat stinks, like I told people. All right, the freaking great. The next coming of Javon Curse stinks. Okay, Fletcher Cox. Too old, not good enough. Once you start bitching about the scheme, it tells me you can't play. All right. Third, Javon Hargrave was fun at the beginning. All right, but not Aaron Donald. Okay, and Derek Barnett is what Derek Barnett's been a guy made 2 of the biggest plays in Eagles history, and we're thankful for that. But that's where it ends. Okay, and all this money up there, all this fucking money up there. All right, that this general manager has used for his defensive line. All right, and you are. Hold on, let me make sure I read this. Let me make sure I read exactly what it is because I might be called a hater.
Yeah, I don't want to be called a hater, Tom.
No, I want to make sure I get all my little facts right here. Okay. Second most rush first downs allowed. Worst we'll just talk about it, the whole thing. worst completion percentage, worse than missed tackles, most first downs allowed, tied most for red zone TDs allowed, second most rush first downs allowed, third most penalties, third fewest blitzes, third most points allowed at home.
That's 9 things that aren't that great. Oh, and real quick with the Titans thing, Jimmy, how many turnovers did the Titans have last night? 3? Their defense forced 3 turnovers. Also helps quarterback when your defense forces turnovers. Also helps.
Yeah, none of that.
But again, I would hate to be a hater of the defense now. To say that, hey, maybe our defense doesn't force enough turnovers.
No, and that's been an issue for now how long, right?
3 years.
They don't blitz enough because there's no playmakers out there. That's why. There's guys that we want to be playmakers or we pray are playmakers that are not. And this is where we're at, right? And, the secondary is obviously improved, but not improved enough. When you don't have linebackers that can go sideline to sideline enough and make plays there, which you look around the league and you look at the amount of safeties that make big plays. You look at the amount of linebackers that make big plays, and you sit here to yourself and you say, why don't I have any of that? And this is why you're where you're at. So as much as I am going to be extremely critical of a defensive front that had no pressures yesterday, right? No QB hits, right? It all goes together here. They're all one unit. And part of that is on the defensive coordinator because you can't have the third least amount of blitzes in the National Football League when you're watching your team get shredded every week. And it's one thing if you're giving up this completion percentage, right? Bringing the house, but you're doing this missionary and it's still getting done to you. Maybe it's time to switch it up. And NBA soft, I would have fired Gannon weeks ago, but they're not going to do that.
You know what it is, Tom, and you talked about missionary, weeks ago when it comes to this defense. I don't even know if it's that. It's that you have so much money up front, and Javon Hargrave's now been quiet, and it seems like on back-to-back games. And it's fine. Like, we're not expecting you to have, all-pro level games every single week. But Fletcher been a shell of himself. Sweat, not nearly consistent enough. He'll flash things here and there, but not consistent enough to be a bona fide starting defensive end in this league, at least not yet. Because I would hate to say he can never be, because then I would be a hater. Barnett sucks. I mean, there's no redeeming qualities of the guy. Your linebacking core, hey, at least you have Singleton off the field and you cut Eric Wilson to where now at least you have TJ Edwards and Davion Taylor. Davion Taylor at least flashes some things, but he's not consistent enough yet to where he's going to still have some bad plays. Rodney McLeod hasn't made a play since getting hurt last season. I don't want to just say he's done, but he's a shell of himself. It's sad that the guy who's flashed the most in your safety core is Marcus Epps, which isn't great. When you signed Anthony Harris, you have Rodney McLeod, then you have a guy in the 4th round who half the fan base called the next Brian Dawkins, who doesn't even play. And your secondary, it's not the biggest weakness, but in a league, in an era in the league where your secondary is expected to force a ton of turnovers, and as much as people take shots at, people were taking shots at Trayvon Diggs all day yesterday. And listen, nobody's saying he doesn't get burnt on plays, but you know what he does to even that out? He forces turnovers. I hate going back to 2017. As much as we got beat over the top with Jalen Mills and Darby, you know what they also did? They forced turnovers. So it makes up for some of the deficiencies.
You're going to get beat in this league.
Yes.
Right? Everybody gets beat. First off, Shangan, I played all the sports I'm talking about. So my entire life. So I played them. So now you're going to need another agenda. All right? You need another agenda.
Keep trying. Keep trying.
Look at it. I mean, this says a lot. The last time the Eagles have drafted these 3 positions, or these positions in the first round, the linebacker, 1979, which is crazy. Cornerback, 2022, and safety, never.
Marky Mark, congratulations. You have just made an A2D social media post. I'm going to use your stat in a little bit, and I appreciate you. It's just
assume it's real. Assume that sounds.
Yeah, I know. I'll double check just in case. It just exists. The defense. It's just there. You had, against, granted, a Chiefs defense that we all think sucks. They rushed 7 people at times against Jordan Love yesterday. You forget about rushing 7. We barely rushed 5. You don't have anybody sew out. You have guys playing sticks. Bend don't break. And the biggest problem out of it all, there's 2 things. One, to your point, Tom, there is nobody right now where you could say, okay, for the Cowboys, you have Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and Van Der Esch and all that stuff. You have all these teams where you have a guy, let alone guys, plural, that you can depend on if you need a key third down stop with 2 minutes left to go, or they're going on a long drive to end the half to stop momentum. There is not one person on the defense that you can rely on that's going to say, listen, he's going to be a game in, game out difference maker. And I know people will probably say Darius Slay, and he's done very good, but he's not that type of a cornerback. He's a cover guy. That's it. He's not a Diggs that's going to come out and be a ball hawk. He's not that guy right now. He hasn't been since 2017. So, and like you said, Tom, when he's going up against friggin', everyone's ripping him on that play. Well, he's going up against a 6'8" backup tight end Parham. He's not going to, that's just something you just tip your hat. Okay, you're 6'8", dude. Nobody's stopping you. You have grown men over there at the Chargers. Keenan Allen, who's 6'3", Mike Williams, 6'5". You have grown men. You have basketball players on the friggin' team. So you're going to get beat by them. You don't have anybody that you can depend on, old or young. And the second thing is, I don't think there's a person in this fan base, Tom, as big fans as we are on game days. Is there one person after we went back and we tied that game last night that thought that our defense was going to get a stop and we were going to get the ball back? There's not 1% of me that thought, oh, yeah, we're going to stop them from going on a game-winning drive.
Well, yeah, does anybody sit there and think at any point in that game that you really believe we're going to win that football game? No matter how it was. No, because yes, there is defensive issues. But when you miss throws in the red zone, right? Like that was missed yesterday, okay? Like that was missed in the Chiefs game that we recall, right? When you miss some of these throws, the one to Dallas Goedert too, the one to Devontae Smith, right? The win-loss margin is so thin in this league, guys. It's so thin.
They left.
You can't do that and then say to yourself as that game continues on, oh yeah, we're gonna. I feel like our defense is gonna get off the field though. No, because we're not taking advantage of our opportunities. And listen, I don't think Nick Sirianni is a good head coach, right? The Jay Love's point. But you can't just cycle new coaches in and say, well, that's going to be the difference maker in Jalen Hurts. Because hear me out on this. Because I was told that all Jalen Reagor needed was somebody outside of Doug Peterson. So LaVon Nelson, if you're listening somewhere out there, which you're probably not, how the fuck did that age? Because you got your wide receiver whisperer right in the room and Nick Sirianni with all his cute T-shirts and all that shit, right? And he's gotten worse. Jalen Reagor's gotten worse.
Yeah,
year 2. So come on, guys. Everybody always going to tell me the next guy, it's got to be another coach. Come on, dude. We can't keep changing coaches.
What are we going to become, the Phillies? We're going to become the Phillies now?
Yeah, players win games. Culture wins games. Those types of things win football games.
No,
where are the stars on this football team?
It starts and ends with this. This offense left 14 points on the board in the first half alone. You can't have that.
That, and then you factor in a bad defense. Why do you lose? Right? It's why you're not good enough.
And the other thing real quick that I see, and listen, I give credit to people that want to take a deeper dive into stuff. Listen, awesome. Enjoy yourselves. I see all these people trying to dissect the game yesterday. Here's the 7 reasons why we lost the game yesterday. And here's the 7 reasons why, we could still be a playoff team in 2021. Okay. I'm not even going to address the second part. That's time's yours for everybody at home. You know why we lost the game yesterday, fam? When it's all said and done, we're not good enough as a football team. We could just say that. We're not good enough. The Chargers have a better quarterback, better defense, better head coach.
Well, I can say this, like, even if we had a better defense, I don't know if we're good enough. So, because of the quarterback position, the elephant in the room that, hate gets involved with, right? Like, with that, I don't know. Like, why is that so bad to say? Like, yes, this defense isn't good enough, but this defense also has Pro Bowlers over there. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, the defensive coordinator should be gone, okay?
Yeah, he sucks.
Okay, he's horrendous. But all our star power, and I'm air quoting this for the people listening on the podcast side of things, okay? All our star power is on that side of the football. Because the other guys that could be stars are younger guys, right? Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, that we haven't got to see him fully by himself yet, right? Like, that's some of your potential star power, but your legitimate paid star fucking power is all on that side of the football.
It is true. Like, you think about it, the offense defense, it is kind of two separate teams when you talk about identity. A majority of your veterans are on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, listen, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, all that stuff, but we're like, that's it's filler stuff.
Ray. Don't do that to yourself, Ray. That could be a skewed fucking number when you start going this deep into the year and you're saying, well, we're averaging 25 points a game.
We are the garbage time kings, right? The Chiefs game, we had like 12, 13 points. The Raiders game, I think we had 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ray, don't do that to yourself, right?
Right. It's the combination of a horrendous defensive coordinator, a head coach that I don't think knows which way he wants to go yet, which I'm always want to give head coaches a minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always, and I would have fired Nick the day he got hired. But that all being said, I'm equal opportunity when it comes to my Eagles where I want success, right? And I know firing coaches every year doesn't bring success. So I'm willing to give him a little bit longer of a leash, even though I think he's a fucking idiot. Okay? And then the other side is the quarterback. So, I mean, and he's young. Okay,
one game doesn't integrate into an average. We're talking. Somebody brought up season average. That's one game you're talking about.
We didn't score 25 yesterday. We scored 24.
Yeah.
So we're not even at 25. We're at 24.
And that's when we ran the ball.
Listen, guys, keep commenting though. Like, even like I say this all the time, even if we don't necessarily see eye to eye on it, right? Keep commenting because this is what drives the show. Like, if we had a bunch of people say, Tom, love you, bro, you're right again, and then we had nothing to conversate on.
Well, notice too, fam, we've been putting up the most disagreeable comments up here.
No, Jay. It's not convenient. It's not convenient. It's a quarterback position. It's the biggest position in professional sports, the most important position in professional sports, and you're telling me it's convenient to blame a guy. Blame him for what? I'm not single-handedly putting losses on him. I never have once said that. And in my weeks of judging Jalen Hurts, have I once said, that's all on him. All on him. Nobody else. I pointed out bad throws that you need to have back. I pointed out different things, but it is not convenient. It's the facts that matter when you are a quarterback and a starter in the National Football League, right? Ask Donovan McNabb how convenient it is just to win a bunch of football games. All right, Caleb? Because that's one of my goats. That's one of my guys. So, no, it's not convenient to blame the quarterback. It's the facts that come with the paycheck.
They're the face of the damn franchise.
Oh, my God. Convenient. How's it convenient? I love you, Jay. Look at Jay. Tell him, Jay. And I love my man, Jay Love. That's my family member there. But how? How's it convenient? I mean, it's not convenient. I don't want to talk about him. He's the one with the running game the last 2 weeks. Has he showed you growth, Jay? And tell me if that's convenient. So what convenient would be is you showing me growth those 2 weeks, right? I can't say under center, right? In the shotgun, you showing me growth because now you have a running game. So in defense of the coach done exactly what I begged him to do, and a lot of us did the last 2 weeks. And I said to you that you were going to find out if he could coach this week. And I thought he did a good job in Nick Sirianni in terms of his game plan.
Yeah.
So we found something out about Nick, which is a positive.
He learned.
Something. And his quarterback still couldn't make the throws that were needed to be made with the running game.
He learned so much, Tom, that people an hour ago in the chat said we ran too much.
What are you talking about, Ray? It's a second-round draft pick. So we got it. Oh, my God. So you got to pay him for him to be scrutinized? What the fuck are we talking about? You got to scrutinize before you pay him. Because if you pay him, then there's no money left for anything else, and the guy's not good enough. Then what position are you in? What are you talking about, Ray? I mean, is everybody okay? Bob Marley, how much weed are you passing around to all our chat members tonight? Because if it's the good shit, pass it over. I need to sleep. I would love a good night's sleep. Swinging around. Oh my goodness, what are we talking about?
What is he saying? Hertz needs to be the bridge while he is cheap so we can build around that we don't need crazy money. Yeah, but we're trying to win too, Bobby.
A bridge.
Yeah, the bridge was this season. This was our bridge. I don't want the bridge to be the friggin' Lions bridge where it's 5 years. This was our bridge. This was our figure it out year. This was our, okay, let's reset. Let's forget 2019, 2020 ever happened. This was our bridge.
I agree with focusing on the defense. I'm right there. Linebacker, safety. Yes. Okay, they're things that I'm looking for. All right, I'm not even looking for a quarterback in the first round because personally, I don't think that there's a guy there that I'm that in love with. All right, so would I allow him to bridge another season? Sure, because what do I got to lose for another one? But I don't have to pay him to scrutinize him. What are we talking about?
He's not good enough to be paid. Like, what are we worried about getting paid? He's not Rodgers. Unless he has an all-pro year, which, again, we're rooting for because that means the team is good. Unless he has an all-pro season as a starting quarterback, he's not going to be paid to the level where it's going to dramatically restrict our roster building.
You're supposed to be on like a little vacation right now, right?
What happened? Hold on. Let me see.
J-Love, everything you said I love until you threw one word in front of the QB, which is not true. He is not a freaking rookie. Listen, go on DraftKings and see if you can bet on Jalen Hurts winning Rookie of the Year. And if you can, then we'll call him a rookie. He's not. You guys, people say, oh, the one guy said, I'm going to go watch guys who actually played. And I said, dude, I played all three sports that I talk about at a high level on here. I played. Okay? So year one, everything that goes into that season, it's different than what goes into year two. Everything slows down a little bit for you. You know what it's like to be a professional. Those things matter. And he played 3 games and a part of a game, but he's a rookie. That's not a rookie.
He's had 2 off seasons, 2 training camps.
But everything you said, I mean,
yes.
The other part of it, I do agree with.
Again, if the tools aren't out there where we can get a generational talent at quarterback, okay, fine, we'll roll with it. Nobody's trying to send this guy out of here. All Tom and I are saying are, if you have the capabilities to improve, and not just improve, drastically improve the quarterback position in the next 12 months, don't pass on it because of Hurts. That's all we're saying. That's it. And somebody was asking earlier, so maybe this will stop, at least I think Tom will agree with this, from coming off like a hater. Like they were saying, like, oh, where does Jalen Hurts rank up in the NFC as far as NFCs as far as quarterbacks? He's 2. Okay.
2 head coaches in 12 games. And he has not gotten better at all this year. So what makes you think, Ray? I feel like I'm talking to Ray Charles, not Ray Lester. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can't see. So I'm going to go based off of what you can't see, and I'm going to tell you. Okay? He's not gotten better, Ray. So I don't care who he's played under.
J-Love. Technically, J-Love, you know what rookie is based off of? Years on a contract. If you go to Spotrac, or however you pronounce that name, or any contract website, what year of his contract is he in?
Why?
Is he in year 1 or year 2 of his contract? 2, right? He's not a rookie. He's had 2 off seasons.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, and I'm okay with giving him another year.
Sure.
And draft defense because I have needs. But
I think you and I have been very, very honest with people. If we draft 3 defenders in the first round, I don't think anybody will give a damn about the quarterback position because it would show us when we're back on this learning thing, the organization learned. If we come out of there with Stingley, or I'm not even going to give a name, a safety, a cornerback, and a linebacker. Think anyone's talking about a quarterback?
no, I mean, listen, I told you I wanted him to be the guy, so I didn't have to go back into the draft next year. And I'm so called a hater. And I said I want him to be the guy. But I'm not, like you said, I'm not going to pass up on a guy that I believe can be my guy either in the draft or outside of the draft for Jalen Hurts. Not the case. I've seen enough. Now, you have, X amount of games left this year to show you can get better, which has not happened yet. I mean, listen, when a guy throws through 80 yards through 3 quarters in numerous football games, that usually tells me he's not an NFL quarterback.
I honestly think, and again, this is just me. There's only one quarterback in the draft that I would move on from Jalen Hurts for, and that's Matt Corral. So that's a compliment to Jalen Hurts. So I'm not saying, oh, good, you got to draft Malik Willis, who had 3 interceptions the other day, or Carson Strong, or freaking Pickett, who, by the way, somebody was asking who does Pickett remind you of? Marcus Mariota. Is Marcus Mariota a starting quarterback? No. So,
you know why I don't listen to the chat sometimes? Because, and I love every one of you. I say this and I mean it. But a lot of you guys are the same people that last year told me Jim Schwartz wasn't a good defensive coordinator anymore. All the people, and Jonathan Gannon said, hold my beer, I'm going to show you what a bad defensive coordinator is. Okay? So I can't buy in that you guys that are wanting Jalen Hurts to be the guy, because you're the same guys who said this shit last year, who told me Doug was the whole problem, right? Jimmy was the whole problem. Had nothing to do with the roster construction, right? Had nothing to do with missed draft picks in numerous years. And it had everything to do with the defensive coordinator and the head coach. I'm going to say it again. Talent wins you football games. Scheme only takes you so far. How Bill Belichick look with Cam Newton last year?
Oh, God.
Looks a little bit better with a rookie Mac Jones who can actually play.
Who goes through his progressions, by the way, Tom? Paris. Can I call you Par? We just talked about the defense for the last 15 minutes. We just crushed them. So they're like the worst thing ever. We just crushed them. So don't know if you just joined, but we blame the defense.
Yeah, I blame the defense plenty. I don't know how much I got to blame the defense.
Like 5 sentences ago, we were just on the defense. We were talking about how we want them to go like all defense. Isn't that basically a shot at the defense? I can't. Quick question, Tom, before the sports sounds. Your biggest winner and loser from the week around the NFL, sports and or team, and fam. Feel free to chime in too.
Well, I mean, it's got to be Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, right? I mean, you want to talk about playing down the competition. I mean, that's a team that we're looking to finally say that, that division is all theirs and nobody else's, and they better look over their shoulder real quick because the New England Patriots are winners of 3 in a row. And to go into Jacksonville, and you played bad the week before in Miami. You were able to get out with a win. To play as bad as they did on offense yesterday is flat out atrocious. And this is why you just can't go around crowning dudes. You know what I mean? Right? They have not played as good of football since that Kansas City win. And I told people out there that they beat the big bad wolf in their eyes. Can they continue to play good football after it? And now weeks have gone by, and they still play with this lackluster effort, per se. Right? Man, Hate to be Bills Mafia today. Because if you think you're a Super Bowl contender and you're losing to Jacksonville Jaguars, ooh.
My biggest loser, San Francisco 49ers. You got blown out by Colt McCoy and the Arizona Cardinals with that DeAndre Hopkins.
Devlin!
Hey, Devlin. Thank you, sir.
I don't have my music on this computer, so I can't play the music, but appreciate you becoming a new member over on YouTube. You'll be added to the Jersey member wheel every Monday or Wednesday and Saturday night as well on the weekly roundup. Steve does a member wheel as well with giveaways. And listen, make sure you're in the community tab for all the gambling advice on Saturdays and Sundays. We appreciate you, brother. Welcome. Let
me see. Oh, I got it. We figured it out. We got it. Thank you, Devlin.
Yeah, J Love, get rid of them. Oh, look at that. Brown the Philly. I love it already.
Oh.
Already got a handle. Make it happen.
Oh, that might be my favorite handle ever.
No, I agree with you with the Niners. That's just a joke, especially in a divisional game. Kyle Shanahan can't coach. I know people love him. Can't coach.
I thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, Tom. Would the greatest thing since sliced bread be able to figure out how to beat Colt friggin' McCoy? I think they were home, too. They were home yesterday, right?
Yeah, Bobby. No, your sleigh has not been shipped yet because we had the jersey change because I thought there was 2 Devontae Smith. There was 1. I sent out all the other jerseys. I'll be back home Friday. Yours will be sent out this weekend. So I did not forget about you, brother. You're the only jersey left to be sent until we go to the other ones.
Your biggest winner, Tom.
Oh, it's the Tennessee Titans. I agree with whoever put that up there. Was let me find him. David, agree with you. That was my loser. He's his biggest winner, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Yes, in a weird ass backwards way, absolutely the biggest winner. But no, it's the Titans. Pat Culp said it too. You lose Henry, and you beat another damn good football team. And I mean, how many this year have you beaten? That number's crazy. Every big test they've had, they've answered it. They play to their head coach's personality. They're a team you don't want to see in a dark alley. They're tough. They're physical. They take the football away. They run the football enough. They have big wideouts who can beat you up too. Tannehill plays inside the system. I mean, listen, they're locked and loaded.
I'll just make it real easy because I'm not even going to try and act like there's another answer. It's the Titans, more specifically Mike Vrabel, because he's up there now. I know he hasn't won any championships or anything, but for what that guy has done.
Well, yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, he has. Right? He's won him as a player. He's won him as an assistant. I mean, listen, not everybody from the dynasty works out, right? Matt Patricia, per se, right? But
he looks one of the best out of them. Out of the batch that's come out, he looks pretty damn good.
Dude, I almost want to see him play Bill again. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, I think he's a player's coach, too, because he's a former player. I mean, this is why I tell you a lot of times how I love the former player. Sometimes. The former player is the perfect way to go. If it's the right guy, right? And this guy's a genuinely good dude, knows what it takes to win, not only knows how to coach up his players, you know, his defensive scheme is tremendous week in, week out. I mean, how many explosive offenses have they slowed the hell down?
They're 6-0 against last year's playoff teams.
Think about that. I mean, literally, they are, I don't care what their record is compared to others. Like I told you with basketball, I don't like necessarily saying like, these are my top 2 teams. I like saying these are my top 4 and giving 2 from each conference per se. But they are number 1 in the AFC. I mean, in my power rankings, they are number 1.
Oh, they have to be now. They have to be.
Yeah, if they're not somebody's number 1, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, my number 2 overall is the Green Bay Packers. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care. It just showed me more that their defense could slow them down without Rodgers. I mean, they are number 1 in the NFC. I don't care what happened yesterday.
Did you see the stat? don't want to say it's 0-6, but it's something really bad. Like how many wins the Packers have had without Aaron Rodgers starting, and you look at it to where like they have a worse winning percentage than
the Browns and Jets, right?
Or like the Lions or something bad.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like I don't root for like things to go bad in organizations unless it's like the Celtics or like the Cowboys, like just teams I hate. No disrespect, but I really want to see what would happen next year if Aaron did leave, because does that automatically make them the worst team in football? Because in all the years Aaron's been hurt, and then obviously in these small sample sizes this year, the light switch from they are one of the best teams in the league to they are not a football. Like they didn't score more than 7 points, 10 points against the damn Chiefs. The Chiefs. And that's still an offense. Listen, Jordan Love didn't look like he belonged on a football field yesterday. And that's clearly somebody that shouldn't be playing for the next couple of years, which is why they drafted him. But you still have Devontae Adams. You still have the running backs. You still have all those guys. So I think Lazard's back. So I really want to see that if that does happen, because I feel like that organization's not done. But I mean, you're looking at it to where Devontae wants out and Aaron wants out. Sorry, Green Bay. There was a couple questions, I guess, people who are tuning in regarding the Sixers stuff. Well, the one thing, do you guys?
There's 110 people watching on YouTube, 62 likes. Let's go, people! Pound the like, hit the subscribe button. You know, I see we've gone up subscribers. Let's go up more. All right, the road to 10K, and it starts with all you, fam. Hit it. Tell your boys to tell a motherfucking boy. Get in here. Let's go.
KZ 1994 Abel says, do you guys still hate Tobias? Told you all he needed was a chance to play without Ben and he'd be all right. When he gets back, he should pick up from where he left off. Yeah, like I don't worry about Tobias that much. I think Tom's right there. Like Tobias, like we know what Tobias is and we know what he's not. So like,
yeah, I don't know where the hate came from.
No.
You know, I was a guy who said I'll give Tobias max money before Jimmy because of the age. So, you know, and I wanted Jimmy back. I was just stating it after the fact. So, I mean, no, I think Tobias is fine. Like Ryan said, he is what he is. You know what you expect. He's pretty consistent with it. And I do think he'll be better without Ben. And I think that goes for everybody. Brown, the Philly. Would you rather have Dame or Brown? Brought this up to start the show. Because of age, because of the growth I see, I'd rather have Brown right now.
Same, Brown.
And if I say I don't want Dame, that's just
no. I'll take him. I'll take him in 5 seconds. Like I would do pretty much whatever it takes to get Jaylen Brown. I might have some limitations with Dame. Some. I'm not saying many, just some.
Yeah, I mean, if they're giving me Dame straight off for Ben, I'm all in.
Absolutely. But like I'm not at the point where I think a lot of the fan base was to where I would not give up Maxey in a deal for Dame.
Yeah, I mean, in July I would have.
Yeah, but like now I know like what Maxey can be.
I still expected Maxey to be that, so I'm not making that decision off of that. It was just that, you know, those guys don't grow on trees either.
Robert, yeah, that wouldn't happen. And like I said earlier, for all the beat writers coming out of Boston and some out of Philly, like, oh, Josh Richardson has to be in the deal for Jaylen Brown. Josh Richardson cannot be traded this year. He was extended. He cannot be traded. A surface level deal, like I said in the open, if you're just talking about a 2-team deal, Celtics and Sixers, which I don't think it would be, by the way. I think it would be a 3-team deal. That way the Celtics get a little bit more, and it's going to help out with money and all that, everything that it goes in between. If you're just talking about a 2-team deal, it would be a structure of Simmons and Jaden Springer for Jaylen Brown and Juancho Hernan-Gomez. If you want to add picks to the Celtics, be my guest. I'll give you 3. I don't give a damn. I'll give you 7 second-round picks.
Pat, I'll walk with you, brother. I'll walk with you. J-Love. Welcome another member. Look at this, 2 tonight. J-Love's always been a part of the family, but this makes it deeper. Listen, I'm telling you guys, make sure on the YouTube side of things, you're locked in on the community tab come Saturday and Sunday, because that's where Nate's giving you all his picks. That's where Willie Vegas is giving you his daily fantasy. All right, you're getting a lot of input there. Use it because you're making your money back plus some. That's the whole point. We're not trying to take people's money. We're trying to win you guys money and do giveaways as well. So now J Love, right, added to the member wheel. He's in for the jerseys every week. And Niang jersey is coming, Wayne. I just don't want to,
We're gonna have a Niang jersey.
Oh, card number changed. It ended my membership. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I thought you were one.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, he said earlier that he needed to re-up. He's landing tomorrow. Come with. I saw Tom. You wouldn't do this, right? Or would you do this? I don't think Darryl would do it.
All right, bye. Yep, I do it.
I'd probably do it too. I don't. You and I both agree Darryl's not doing it though, right?
Probably not because he's listening, shooting high. But I absolutely do this. Absolutely, because I got to part ways.
Yeah.
At some point, I got to part ways, and they make my roster better. Is it the great get back that we're all looking for? Absolutely not. But
David, that is not true because Tom knows this as much as I do. I would have been going crazy if that was even a chance. We were live. We were live on draft night. I don't think that was a possibility because they extended him right after the draft. I wish it was a possibility.
No. I don't darkness. Like I said, I'm not running for that deal. But at this point, no, Sam, I get you. It's got to be Brown. I'm just making the point that I don't think that we're in a position to be saying what we're getting back almost. Yes, I would want it to be Jaylen Brown. I'm not looking for Marcus Smart and Williams. I'm just saying at this point, I'm getting closer and closer to just saying, yeah, let's do it. As soon as I get more in, Devlin, he was the last guy on the wheel.
Were we doing the member wheel tonight, or are we doing it on Wednesday, Tom? If you want to do it tonight, I can get Ralphie in here.
No, we'll do it Wednesday when I actually have the jerseys.
Okay.
And it's closer to me shipping. So instead of doing it tonight, guys, we'll do it Wednesday night. We'll spin the wheel. And that will be because that's what I have left, is a Jalen Hurts jersey. So. Don't be a hater and turn it back.
No. Brown, Samana says Brown for 25 straight up. They're not going to do that, though. Listen, I would do it. Tom would do it. Darryl would do it. They're not going to do that, though. What is this? Tom sweeten the deal. Yeah, bye, Tom.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go be on the Celtics beat.
Yeah.
A2D Boston.
What is the line tonight, Tom? For Knicks.
Hey, look at it. You know what I mean? Wayne got his jerseys.
There you go, Wayne.
Got two of them. That game should be starting any second.
Yeah, I forgot. I switched to cable. Let's see.
Is it on ESPN? Is it on ESPN tonight?
I doubt it, because would they give us back-to-back nationally televised games? Because I know tomorrow is it's the TNT.
I don't know. I was just hoping because of where I'm located. New York.
Oh.
New York -2. That's a small line. All right, game just started. So 2-0 Sixers. I don't know who scored. Didn't even update yet. Seth Curry, good start. Our starting lineup is Danny Green, Andre Drummond, Tyrese Maxey, Seth Curry, Furkan Korkmaz.
By the way, did you hear Maxey just missed. Oh, Drummond rebound. Shocker. Yeah, New York's up 3-2 right now. Did you hear Doc say that he almost went to the Drummond Embiid lineup the other night?
I could see it.
He said we almost went to it, but we didn't need to. I guess it was against the Pistons. That would have broken the entire internet to see those two on the floor together.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been funny because he just everything that those two have sort of been through, Yo.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, what up, Uncle Rye? We're gonna finish
my man. My man.
What are you doing? You're looking at them? Yeah, you don't know what they are. Listen, he brings more to the table.
There he is.
He brings more to the table than Ben Simmons does, and maybe Jalen Hurts.
Is this his debut live?
I don't know. I feel like I've done shows inside a couple of times where he's ventured out. I mean, over the next few years, expect the dude to just start sprinting in.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
yeah, lock all windows and doors is not going to even matter. It won't even matter. Flying around.
Look at Robert. Look at Robert.
Look at Clever saying. Look at Clever.
He's the future of the Sixers.
Yeah. Next hour more. I don't know. The guy's mommy might not like it, but the guy's he's got to get ice skates on because he's got some of that Russian blood in him.
Oh, he's a prodigy.
I got to find out if he can skate. You know what I mean? I'm not even a hockey guy like that. I got to find out if he can skate.
Listen, we might need a goalie in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? If this Carter Hart thing doesn't work out.
Maybe that's where he lands.
Or, Tom, you know what else? I might be his biggest fan in like 20 years because he could be that European basketball player that I'm always trying to trade for. You know what I'm saying? The Bielitsas. You know what I'm saying? The Ilyasovas.
What? You want the headset? I know you do. Bobby, my suggestion is train him. You got a puppy? Train him.
Yeah. Lock. No, you know what the real lock all windows and doors for real. That's the answer.
Yeah, I lock them all. What time is sports down? 7:15?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Hey, great show.
Same to you.
Family out there, make sure you go check out our sponsor every Monday. That's FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports and more. Now they have dual contests at NBA and NFL. Their daily go together. We can do both together. Pretty cool. No salary caps. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. FanUp.app. You can download right on the Apple Store. Go look up FanUp. Yeah, clap your hands. Guys, he knows. They pay out quick. They pay out quick, baby. They pay out quick. And you can get in the Monday night contest tonight. So use your bonus points and win some damn money. That's what we're out here doing. We're out here winning your money. Go check out FanUp. Come on, guys. Download it. I'm not here to lie to nobody. You know this. And we're also brought to you by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code HUD at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Check them out as well. And everybody from the Levittown area, go check our family out at Gleason's Bar. Use promo code A2D and get 10% off your bill. Listen, great cheesesteaks, get some cocktails, everything. And you can use the 10% off HUD code whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com is where you can find them. Go check them out. 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA.
Real quick, Wayne wants to know if Cass knows how to coach defense.
He does. He's not. Guy ain't missionary. He's already bringing extra guys. Like, you blitzing? So yeah, I'm blitzing. We'll bring 11 guys.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, we're blitzing.
He knows.
Dennis, use the promo code. Everybody enjoy your night. Stay tuned. All right. The Sports Hounds coming up live here on HUD Radio, followed by our boys on the Flight Zone at 9:30. Lock in. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Stay with us. For Tom Arnone, Cass Arnone, that's Ryan Brodo, the family out there. We appreciate you. Let's go get Jaylen Brown. We're out.